Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. It is exactly 9:52 a.m. This is News and Views. We are wrapping up with a very special tribute to a giant of a woman. She's none other than Mrs. Zuleikha Mayat. Inna Lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Our sincerest condolences to Aslam and Shamima Mayat and the extended family on the passing of their dear beloved mother, Mrs. Zuleikha Mayat. She's a true legend in her lifetime, and she achieved much. Quite a giant of a woman. I was very amazed when I read a bio on this amazing woman, and what a role model for us Muslim women, Muslim girls. um, this just tells me that anything is possible. All you need to do is dream big, and work hard at making your dreams a reality. Assalamu alaikum to you, Attorney Aslam Mayat. Welcome to the program.
Walaikum salam to everyone.
What an amazing woman. What a giant of a woman. And it must make you so very proud knowing that she touched the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. It might have been by way of her very famous book, The South African Indian Delights, and then, of course, her other work regarding activism. What are the memories that you have of this amazing woman, your mother, that we don't know about?
Well, I think which is firstly thank you to Salam Media. Um, she says she's touched across cultures, religions, races, gender, and so she's actually well known to the public for her works. But all the outpouring that has come through from so many different places is not only touching but very humbling as well, and much appreciated. As you said, it's not only to Muslim girls, which definitely should be inspired by her, but anybody who's had a disadvantage and should be able to strive. Her life is one that shows how you can overcome the various hurdles and difficulties in life, whether it's cultural restrictions or various, legal apartheid legislation and so on. So whatever hurdles they are, to be able to overcome that. She's actually had such a varied life, whether it's in banking. It's not just the Indian Delights cookbook. She's also written many books, and then involved with banking, with Ikra charity class, with Dal Yatama old age home, and various crippled care, blind society, uh, through the cultural group. Uh, Interacted with many different organizations, even from the early days, Arabic Study Circle, involved in mushairas, in fairs, in getting people, overseas speakers to come here, uh, getting the two Professor Nadvis, uh, help in getting them down and settled here. So very varied life. You don't have to be in a little cocoon. You got to live your life to the fullest. But at the same time, I mean, she was cognizant of cultural norms and her own religious obligations. And I think more or less she steered a path that was true to herself and a middle path which Islam demands.
Alhamdulillah for that. As you were growing up and then reached adulthood and started studying yourself, etc., did you realize at any point, what I'm trying to get at is when we are in a situation with a person, our parents, our spouses, our siblings, etc., we don't realize just how amazing they are, what an amazing contribution they're making to people around them and within the community. Because that's just who they are. They're part of your family. We tend to take them for granted. It's my mom, it's my wife, it's my sibling, it's my dad, etc. And only later in life, or when people comment on and commend, your mother, do you realize her greatness? And we don't talk about greatness in the same sense as we talk about arrogant pride. Her greatness in having touched people in a humble way and in a special way. When, how old were you when you realized just what an amazing person your mother is or was?
Firstly, the one person I don't try to take for granted is my wife. I might get into a lot of trouble. But
Alhamdulillah, I hope my husband can hear you now, right now on the radio.
but that's why she was mom. She
Right.
told us stories, played sports with us, and so on. So really, she was just a mom. But I think once after my father died, she really, instead of crumbling and withdrawing, she stepped out boldly, picked up the pieces, and charted her own course. And
Wow.
and from then, I think that we got, by that time I was already, starting to become an adult. And so we got lots and lots of feedback from everybody. My wife Shamima and I stayed with her right through, so uh, you'd get a lot of feedback. We worked with her, and there was a lot of feedback, and we then began to realize, and as time went on, and certainly in the last 20 years, uh, you'd meet people, they'd give you feedback, and so on, and the variety of people who'd mention something or say something or write something, and then we became very involved in her activities and so on. So really, we did come to realize her attributes, and also what is fortunate, both Women's Cultural Group and Al Baraka Bank held, recognition events for her to commemorate her life. And I think that's also important that people do it before they die, that they do
Absolutely.
acknowledge and do it. And I think there's a lot of times we slip up and we do it only after the person has died. And that should be borne in future for other heroes that we've still got and will be passing on soon.
And I also understand that she was awarded an honorary doctorate in social science by the University of KwaZulu-Natal in 2012. So another accolade as far as her work being recognized by huge institutions all around the country, and I should imagine all around the world. What were her final months and days like? What do you remember? And if you could turn the clock different, if you could turn the clock back, and I know as Muslims we're not meant to be questioning, it is Allah's will. Do you think you would have done things differently with your mom?
No, I think, look, she lived a full life. She did what she set out to do. She did what she needed to do. She pretty much carried on until about a month ago, I'd say, uh, trying to play whatever limited role, because obviously the health and mobility and so
Mm.
on. She was perfectly lucid right at the end. Until the last minute, she was perfectly lucid. She had to go to hospital about 3 months ago, and that took away her mobility. So from walking on a walker, she was confined to a wheelchair,
Mm.
and that kind of set things back. She kept on telling us, "Look, it's my time to go," and I've done my run. Uh, she'd say, every bone in my body is aching. So look,
Oh,
she had done everything she wanted to do. She
right.
went. She went very peacefully. So I think that was a great blessing. A lot of people, they suffer
Mm.
on ventilators and drips and this and that, and having all sorts of medical problems. She didn't, not at hospital. She was fine, perfectly okay. and she died peacefully. So, more than that, we can't ask. People say, live a few years longer, but if you live a few years longer in pain and suffering and so on, or in a vegetative state, it doesn't help you. You want to go. It's time for you to go. Alhamdulillah.
And you must all be so proud of all of her achievements and just the way she touched people's lives so very positively, and the amazing role model. Even though she's passed away, her legacy will definitely live on. And I
Yeah.
think in paying tribute to your mother at the Ikra Trust Foundation, you went on to say that you shamelessly plagiarized Ikra Trust's motto, and I'm going to do that right now because it's so apt in the case of your mother. Life is not measured by what you own, but what you can do for others. Alhamdulillah. And that's what she did. She lived life to the fullest, but she touched lives in such a positive way, and you all must be so very proud of her. And we do hope and pray you carry on and make her legacy, just keep her legacy alive so that people can follow that role model. Thank you indeed for being with us. Once again, our deepest condolences. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant her the highest stages in Jannah and give you all
Ameen.
sabr, inshallah.
Ameen.
Assalamu alaikum to you.
Wa alaikum salam. Jazakallah.
That was Attorney Aslam Mai talking about the special legacy his mother, the late Zuleikha Mayat, has left, not only to them as a family, but to us as South Africans, and I guess to us as a Muslim community. She truly touched us in a very positive way. But let me hasten to add, it wasn't only the Muslim community she touched people from all walks of life. She was an amazing woman, and may Allah accept all of her efforts, inshallah. May she rest in peace. May she be in the highest stages of Jannah, inshallah. It is 4 after 10 o'clock, time for me to wrap up. And as I do so, I believe that we're going to play out with a short video of Zuleikha Mayat. I think she was being interviewed by Ashraf Garda. Please, let's take a listen to that. And from me till tomorrow morning, as always, take care on the roads. Assalamu alaikum and Khuda Hafiz.
How would you like to be remembered? I mean, people have different memories of you, but if you could script your own title of your own book of life as to how people must remember you as Zuleikha Mayat, how would you like us to remember you?
Be remembered if they can remember me as a human being who wanted to leave something for future generations.
Well, you certainly have. So therefore, when there's a younger person watching you today and or listening to you, and someone is 20 years old, and they're trying to find direction in their life and they're trying to find purpose in their life, what advice would you give them?
Whatever the young person is doing in life, must look for other opportunities. What else can they do, not just for themselves, physically, mentally, but also socially with others? Every intention must be followed with an action, and that action will put in your way newer ways to continue. If you want to follow a good way, you will opportunities appear on the good road, the righteous road. If you associate with bad people, then that trajectory takes you into the bad times, into self-effacing times, and you don't want to choose that.
Breaking stereotypes, moving boundaries,